for it. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to change your view in 10 minutes about psychics. Right?
Yeah, not sidekicks either.
Yeah, and I just wanted to show everybody, because I'm an artist, and I actually have a show right now in Monte Carlo at an art fair, and I do a lot of psychic stuff, metaphysical. This is one of my latest. I sold this to my friend, my police officer friend, and it's called The 13th Eye. Do you like it?
It's a lot better than the 12th eye.
Whatever. Okay, this might be in a bad position. If it looks bad on the screen, it's because I screwed that up. Okay, so tell me what you think about psychics, because I know that our boss just got here and he's probably going to pop in and have something to say, but
yeah,
hopefully he won't before we get finished with the
I'm
show.
already here.
No,
oh, the other boss.
Yeah, the boss.
I don't believe in psychics.
I knew you wouldn't, because it's like every time I say I believe anything, this is what his thing
Charlatans.
is. It must be a miserable existence, not believing in anything.
No, what's miserable is if you believe what other people say. They tell you.
You don't have to believe. You can follow your soul.
Shit.
Okay, let's just get right into this.
All right.
So I have been going to a psychic for a long time, and I used to actually fly home to see her. She's the only one I've really ever believed. I did have one time a psychic in Chicago way back in my 20s tell me that something really tragic was going to happen, and she wouldn't tell me what it was. She looked very, very concerned about it, and it turned out that it did happen. My boyfriend I was living with was in a car accident and was in a coma for a long time, and I know that's what she saw. But basically, the woman I see now, she's a Christian, and she does feel like that God has given her this gift, and I think God does, because even in the Bible they talk about people who could see the future, and it's only a sin because the Bible says it is. Most people, there are a lot of charlatans out there. I will say, I would say 90% of the people who say that they're psychic.
99.9.
No, it's probably more like 90%. Well, you know, I'm psychic, and I do it all the time, and you're like freaking out, like, how'd you know that?
I know. How'd your psychic friend said something tragic happened, but she didn't mention what?
It wasn't a friend. I told you it was the person in my 20s.
I know, but she didn't tell you what.
No, she did not tell me what, because she said she would not tell me. And at the time in my life, it was a very good idea that she did not tell me, because
you could have prevented it.
No, I could not have prevented this guy from being in a car accident. I wasn't with him, and it was a head-on collision, and it changed the course of my life and his forever. And it was something that was meant to happen, and it happens, and that's what life is all about. But my psychic that I see now told me within a week's time that the time of both my parents' deaths. One time it was my dad, and I was going to be in South Africa, and I was in South Africa when he died. She said, prepare yourself because he will be dead by the time you get back. And then my mother, I was supposed to go to Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, and she said, you might not want to go. And my mother was, I was her power of attorney and executor, and I did not go, and she died during that time that I would have been gone. So that's just two major things. But there's other things, like I'm doing it all the time to you, and you're like, you know that I have a sixth sense. You don't? You just think it's all luck? Really? Why would you think that?
Because I don't believe you can't see the future. No one can.
Okay.
Maybe the past. I don't know. Nah, probably not even that. No, I'm not a believer.
So how do you think that I know all this stuff?
Yeah, I don't think you do.
Well, I'm saying it in front of you, and you know I don't know it. So how do I just happen to know it when I say it?
Know what?
The things that I say that you're always like, wow, how'd you know that?
Like what?
Well, like people's zodiac signs and what's going to happen and all the things that I already know that you know I know.
Well, it's a 1 out of 12 chance. Maybe you get lucky.
I guess I must be the luckiest person alive. Anyway,
she's a zodiac.
See, that's the thing. We come on here and we're going to talk about stuff, and he just automatically.
I don't agree.
But you never agree with
Sometimes
anything.
I do.
Well, you agree with a lot of stuff when we're off camera. And
No.
Well, you say you do.
No.
So are you lying?
Maybe.
Well, why would you do that?
Why not?
I don't know. Lying's not really that good of a quality that a person has.
You got to spice things up a little.
So it's kind of weird that you would be doing that, but I guess it's okay if you don't believe. I mean, I think that like everybody has a little bit of third eye and psychic in them.
Of course you do.
And they just have to. Everybody should really be tapping into it themselves and not going to someone else to do it for them anyway.
But you know I'm psychic because I know know every day you're going to Starbucks.
Well, I don't go every day.
Yes, she does.
Okay, well, I mean, I do think that you actually are a little psychic, to tell you the truth. I've seen it, but sometimes people are so caught up in their ego, and it's really hard not to be.
Thing again.
But it's not the ego, the bad thing. It's the ego of being a human, and yeah, it is. It all comes down to ego versus soul.
We are all human.
It comes down to ego versus soul, and the more that you ascend, and the more that you see people and what they're doing, and the flaws. And I don't want to say flaws, because everybody is on a journey, and it's not a flaw, it's soul growth. But you can see people's actions and what they're going to do. Like, I know things that you're going to do, and you probably do me, that I could tell you, but you're argumentative, because you and I have sort of a competitive spirit with each other. And so we would always be like, well, you didn't know that, or you didn't say that. So it's really hard to have that conversation with you, because the closer you get to somebody, I think the harder it is to really, unless there's like really a lot of trust, which at one time you and I were actually saying the same things as we were saying them. And I don't know if you remember that, do you? When we were like saying things.
Sometimes that just
But
happens.
it wasn't sometimes, it was all the time.
No. Oh, no.
See, I don't know, like how, I guess it would be interesting to be in your head for a day to see what it's like to have.
This is going to go to that Libra thing again.
I think it would be interesting to be in your head for a day to see what it's like to be, because it's like you're like a little boy in a corner that's stamping his feet because he's so spoiled about not having everybody agree with them. And maybe I'm the same, I don't know.
I'm not
I don't
even
really
sure
care
where that came from.
Well, because I see you as a little boy in a corner going like this, and it's so cute, because I think that sometimes when things happen to us, we just put up boundaries, which is what the world, and a lot of times I do think psychics are reading that energy. Like you said, there's a lot of people that are charlatans, and I totally agree with you on that. And some people are just really good at reading other people's body language and energy, and they take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So one time I was in Romania.
That's the way that goes.
And as we all know, gypsies are fortune tellers, and I was in Romania, and I wanted to go see a fortune teller. So we get there, and she starts telling me that I have like all this negativity. Somebody's cast a dark spell on me, and it's going to cost $500 to get it off me. And I started laughing at her, and I said, well, if they have, I'm a witch. I can do it myself. I don't need your protection. So the man that was with us started getting ill.
You can get that on eBay too, I think.
It was probably
Amazon.
before eBay. But anyway, the man that we were with started getting really sick. His face changed, and so the negativity she was sending at me, because I have protection, went to him, and he actually was not able to drive anymore. I mean, we had to have his son come in.
Bad food. Was this in a third world country?
Well, I don't know. Do you consider Romania a third world country?
Yeah.
Then I guess that's your answer.
Bad food. That's all I say. Nothing to do with
You're
it.
so cute. I mean, it's so cute. I know people like you, but they're so foreign to me.
I think it's probably like the majority of the world. Right? So
I think that
sure
might not be accurate.
No, it's more than that.
I think more people these days believe in a higher power and something bigger that they're embarrassed to say, because they're afraid of talking about it, because they don't want to be made fun of. And I don't give a shit if I'm made fun of, because I already know who I am. And that's another thing. When you know who you are, and you know what your strength is, and you know what your power is, people hate you for it. They hate you because you don't care. They can't manipulate you. And we talked about that the other day. You know? I mean, so anyway.
I don't think anybody hates us, right?
I think there's a lot of hate out there. I think there's a lot of hate out there.
Iraqis and stuff like that.
And I'm talking about just the people that you see on the streets, and the people that you know as friends.
There's a lot of love out there.
There's beautiful love as well. You know what? I think we're almost out of time.
Ooh, yeah.
Anyway, thanks for
this.
I know. Thanks for having this conversation with me, Terry. I think it's good. I appreciate it. I'm Rita Cook.
Terry Murphy.
Buy my art. Wherein lies the truth.
Like, subscribe.
Cheers.
Leave
Have
comments.
a great day.
Bye.